Hey guys, I'm Suj. Today I'll be talking about overview of human reproduction. So before that, hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So I'll be discussing all the overall process that occur in human reproduction. So what is reproduction? It's a biological process by which new individuals or organisms are produced from their parents. So there are two types of reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So the humans reproduce sexually and give birth to young babies. So the first process is gametogenesis. It is a process in which the cell undergoes meiosis to form gametes. So in males, the male gamete is sperms, hence we'll call it as spermatogenesis, and in females it is ovum, so we will call it as oogenesis. In male reproductive system, we have a pair of structures called testes. They sit inside the scrotum and perform two primary functions. One is to form and produce the motile cells called sperms, and the other is to release a major male hormone called testosterone. The formation of sperms is called as spermatogenesis and it occurs inside seminiferous tubules. The sperm develops between two Sertoli cells and it gets matured in epididymis. Oogenesis is a production and development of an ovum. This occurs in the outermost layer of ovaries. At first, there will be a structure called primary oocyte. As it matures, it forms secondary oocyte and first polar body. And when the secondary oocyte matures, it turns out into a matured ovum and it also forms the second polar body. So the next step is copulation or sexual intercourse. Before the copulation, the sexual stimulation causes the blood to flow into the man's penis. The penis becomes erect and hard enough to enter the female's vaginal tract. It is helped by the lubricating fluids that are released by the walls of vagina. Now this process is called as copulation or sexual intercourse. The rubbing of glans penis against the vaginal wall sets off a reflex action. It releases the stored sperm from testes and squeezes them by peristalsis along the sperm duct and the urethra. As the sperm passes along these tubes, the seminal fluid is added to them, and the complete semen is ejaculated in spurts. About 3 to 4 cm cube of semen is ejaculated, and it contains about 3 million sperms. The seminal fluid consists of citric acid, acid phosphatase, calcium, sodium, zinc, potassium, and fibrolysin enzyme. The next step is insemination. It is a process of introducing the sperms into a female's cervix or the uterine cavity. The sperm is divided into three parts that are head, midpiece, and tail. The head contains the acrosome, nucleus, and DNA and centriole. The midpiece contains the mitochondrion to produce ATP. The tail is required for the flagellar movement. Next, there is a process of fertilization. It is a union of paternal sperm nucleus with the maternal egg nucleus to form a zygote, which is the fertilized ovum. And remember one thing, among the many number of sperms, only the one sperm head enters the ovum. And that particular sperm head fuses with the ovum and forms a zygote. And further, there is a formation of embryo, or we will call it as embryogenesis. The zygote further develops to form an embryo by mitosis cell division. The diploid zygote is totipotent and it has the potential to give rise to any type of cells. The first cleavage occurs about 24 hours after fertilization. That means two identical blastomeres are produced. Then there is a formation of a solid ball of cells called morula. It forms after about 3 days of cleavage and it resembles a fruit of mulberry. Then the morula turns into blastula, which is a hollow fluid-filled sphere of cells, and its wall is made up of single layer of flattened cells called as trophoblast. And the cells that are present inside is called as the inner cell mass. It contains the stem cells which have the potency to give rise to any of the cells. Next comes the implantation. The process of attachment of blastocyst to the wall of uterus is called as implantation. It occurs on about 7th day of development and it is completed within next 5 days. Then there is a formation of fetal membranes and it is called as gastrulation. The inner cell mass initially develops its ectoderm and endoderm and then the middle layer called as mesoderm. After 3 weeks we can see that embryo is about 2 mm long. And after 4 weeks there is development of blood vessels and heart. And after 5 weeks we can see brain development beginning of arms, legs and forelimbs and we can hear the first heartbeat. After 6 weeks we can see the development of eyes and ears. And then after 7 weeks there is major internal organs like face, mouth, tongue and beginning of hands and feet. And after 12 weeks, we can see that fetus is fully formed with all organs including bones, muscles and sex organs, etc. And after 20 weeks, there is beginning of hair and growing nails, etc. And woman feels the movement of the fetus. And after 28 weeks, we can see the movement vigorously and all other metabolic activities such as urinating, breathing, and swallowing amniotic fluid. The placenta helps in all these functions for the fetus. It acts as the fetal gastrointestinal tract and allows the transport of organic molecules from maternal side to the fetal side. It acts as fetal lung when respiratory gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged across it. The placenta acts as fetal kidney when the excretory substances are to be removed. The placenta provides the first protection or the passive immunity when it allows the maternal antibodies to move into the fetus. And finally, the placenta performs the function of endocrine glands by secreting hormones such as human chorionic gonadotrophin, human placental lactogen, relaxin, and progesterone estrogen. Then occurs the process of gestation or pregnancy. It is a stage of woman's life during which a fetus is growing in her uterus. It is also called as gestation period. The normal period of human gestation lasts for 38 to 42 weeks or 40 weeks. The formation of organs in the fetus is called as organogenesis. So the parturition or birth can take place only after the formation of all organs. The birth of the infant is called as parturition. The parturition is a complex event controlled by both nervous system and endocrine gland. It involves contraction and relaxation of muscles of the uterus, that is myometrium. The signal for parturition is called as fetal ejection reflex. It originates from fully developed fetus and the placenta as mild contraction of uterine wall. These are induced by oxytocin that are released by hypothalamus of mother and fetus. Then the fetus is ready for birth and can be taken out with head pointing downwards. After the birth, the umbilical cord is clamped and cut. Then the last process is lactation. It is a process of production of milk and is released in the mammary glands. The colostrum is the yellow-colored fluid secreted by the mammary glands of mother and is fed for the fetus for the first time. So this was the summary of human reproduction, starting from gametogenesis, copulation, insemination, fertilization, embryogenesis, implantation, gestation, fetal development, and parturition, finally the lactation. So thank you for watching the video. If you have any doubt, please do ask in the comment section. If you like this video, hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.